nothing for you. I'll be at
household to take care of it.
Unless you want to read. No, let me take a bump.
You want to read?
I
Okay.
didn't take.
We start now for Q&A.
Already?
Yeah.
That's right.
Nah, I ain't got no book.
Right.
Just your life, I use your phone.
Nobody.
I was fighting them. When I was young, I was fighting them. Yeah, you know, 'cause I
The studio up, so you can look on it. I guess it's talent. They just shy. They just shy. You know, don't be shy. Put your stuff down. Nasty with it. Find the right setup, the right investment.
It's like I do my best man. That's difficult to capture. And it's like, you know,
Laptop back. I can use that laptop.
You come over there, me and my partner,
I don't want it back. I see
and
it
you
back.
come over there, and you just walk off, and boy, you turn.
Oh, that laptop right there?
Yeah,
I we not using that one.
He got-
I talked
he got
to
it.
Marcus
He
this morning.
busted
He said
it.
we got a new one.
But
You
I
got one? Oh, you got a new
I
one?
got this trick.
You got it. You do.
That he didn't like.
You say got them?
Oh, yeah, he didn't like.
I don't know what he want to do with that one, so I ain't talking
He didn't like.
about it. Oh, he right.
Blue eyes and then blonde hair.
Okay, he's one of them type.
Yeah,
I got you. This back in the day.
yeah. Well, you know, I'm gonna tell you, people think ain't too much change.
No, not too much of a change.
It's now they
Ready? You use the phone?
Yeah,
I see. You can. I don't mind moving it about. Yeah, no. I'm tripping sometimes.
I was gonna say he was going to the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm sitting down best now. Okay, I get it. Our Father which art in heaven. Our Father which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
Lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
I got you. All right. So let's see.
All right.
Any questions? Any questions in the house?
So I went over a lesson called Are You Eligible for the Kingdom of God? And in that lesson, I believe it was in John. Let's see. I'm sorry, let me go back and look at my notes. Okay, so he went over John, I believe it was 11, somewhere in John 11, and I wanted a little bit more clarification. I'm actually looking through so I can get the exact scriptures. Okay, it was John 6, 38, 39. John 6, 38.
Okay. So that was the question.
Just like clarifying why this would be the first scripture to go to in the question towards, or the biggest question towards that we all, of course, have to answer for ourselves of, are you eligible for the kingdom of God? I just want to know, like, why this was the first scripture, to go to.
Oh, that's what you did?
To clarify. Yes, sir.
So why would he go there first? I don't know. I don't know what his thinking was. but the title was "Are we eligible for the kingdom of God?" Right? And he read 38, 39.
It was
start off with
38, 39, and then he did a bit of skipping to 44 to.
Well, he started off with 38, 39.
Yes, sir.
That's the one we kind of figure out why he started there.
Mm-hmm.
Did he elaborate on it? Did he kind of explain that?
It was more so what his description of it was that if Jesus came down here to do the will of the Father, then what should we do? Although it did kind of leave me at a stag, like I was stuck in that one spot, because even though I understood everything else in the lesson he was saying, I still was just trying to figure out why would that be.
I don't know why. I have no idea. Honest with you, I think all that the Father give me shall come to me, and him that come to me I will. So what was the title of the class again?
Are you eligible for the kingdom of God?
Before I came down from heaven.
John 6:38.
I don't know why he said. I don't know why he would use that. I don't know. I would have to know what he was thinking. I have to hear to see how he broke that down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, only thing I can see right there. Read that for me, Vincent.
For I came down.
John 6.
Okay.
John 6, 38, 39 for those that's online. John 6, 38, 39. Go ahead, read.
For I came down from heaven not to do mine own will, but the will of him that sent me. And this is the Father's will which hath sent me, that of all which he hath given me, I shall lose nothing, but should I raise it up again at the last day.
I should read it. But should raise it.
Okay, I'm sorry, but should raise it up again at the last day.
Okay, so only thing I can see right there that would cause you to be eligible for the kingdom or not eligible is you not coming to the Lord or coming to the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Like in verse 37, he said, "All that the Father give me shall come to me," right? "And him that come to me I would in no wise cast out. For I came down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of him that sent me. This is the Father's will which hath sent me, that all which he hath given me, I should lose none," right? "I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again at last day." So I don't know, man. Only thing I can see right there is that you got to come to the Lord and make you eligible.
Yeah,
You know?
that's a great. Thank you.
That's the only thing I can see right there. You got to come. Like when he called, you need to show up. You know what I'm saying? You know that scripture where it said, "Many are called, but few are chosen."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you hear his voice, you need to come. But that's the only thing I can see right there. "All that the Father give me shall come to me. And him that come to me, I will in no wise cast out." So you in there, you good.
But
That's the only thing I can see right there.
I didn't read that verse before, so thank you.
Oh, yeah?
That did clear me.
I hope
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah, I hope that's why he went there. You know, I mean, that's just saying you got to do some. You got to do something. You got to come. You know what I'm saying? Like you making yourself eligible by coming, by doing what he say. You know, so anything else in house?
Hebrews
You want to come in?
chapter 4, verse 8.
Hebrews 4 and verse 8. Let's go look at that. Hebrews 4 and verse 8. Okay, what's your question on that, brother?
Is that Jesus or Joshua?
That is actually talking about Joshua. That is talking about Joshua, brother. Would you like? You gonna leave it at that?
No, I mean just explain how that we talk about Joshua. I mean, explain that.
All right. First off, is a translation. Okay. So you know Joshua and Jesus is translated, right? Translated the same. Okay. So now, one thing. Matter of fact, trying to think, should I let the cat out the bag? Now I'll do that. I'll let the cat out the bag, make it easy for you. All right. So when you read Hebrews chapter 3, right? Go to Hebrews 3, right? Hebrews chapter 3. And Hebrews 3, we're going to read, we're going to pick this up at verse, let's start Hebrews 3, we're going to pick this up at verse 1. And remember I told you about reading everything in context. Remember we were talking about it a few weeks ago, right? Read everything in context, right? So like when you read the Bible, you have to imagine it if it was without scriptures or without chapters. You understand? Because it's gonna read right. It goes right into, it's like writing a letter. And everything gonna go down and make sense sometimes, not all the time. Right? In the Old Testament, Paul's letters for the most part stay on course. But the Old Testament, Lord switched things up because you had different prophets, right? We're not saying that this is Paul writing Hebrews either, because we don't know for sure if that's Paul.
Yeah, I done heard that before.
Everybody will say that, but we don't know. That could be Peter writing. But for the most part, in the letter, when you write a letter, period, it's like you write a letter, you're gonna stay in contact. You write somebody, you gotta write somebody, a cousin, long lost cousin. You write them a letter and stuff. You're gonna be mainly talking about the same thing. It's gonna start from the beginning. Like I said, you have beginning, middle, end, right? So Hebrews 3, let's pick this up at verse 1. Hebrews 3 and verse 1. Go and read that for me.
Wherefore, holy brethren, partakers of the heavenly calling, consider the apostle and high priest of our profession, Christ Jesus.
Go ahead.
Who was faithful to him that appointed him, as also Moses was faithful in all his house.
Keep reading.
For this man was counted worthy of more glory than Moses, inasmuch as he who hath builded the house hath more honor than the house.
Keep reading.
For every house is builded by some man, but he that built all things is God.
Okay, skip down to verse 16. Who we talking about?
16.
Who we talking about so far? Jesus and Moses, right? All right, because it says, who was faithful? Jesus Christ, our profession, Christ Jesus, who was faithful to him that appointed him, right? Like the Father appointed Jesus to do a work. Then it gives you a comparison to Moses, correct? It said, as also Moses was faithful in all his house, correct? So now we jumping back to Moses because Moses had the same position, in a sense, that Jesus had as a high priest, right? Okay, so now let's get down to verse 16. Pick it up. Go ahead and read.
For some, when they had heard, did provoke, howbeit not all that came out of Egypt by Moses.
So they're talking about Moses, right? So for some, when they had heard, did provoke, howbeit not all that came out of Egypt by Moses, what?
But with whom was he grieved 40 years? Was it not with them that had sinned, whose carcasses fell in the wilderness?
Go ahead.
And to whom swore he that they should not enter into his rest, but to them that believe not?
Right. Wait. Listen, Vincent. Brother Vincent.
Yes, sir.
Stop. Stop, Vincent. Don't do that.
What?
All your questions, all your reading is going up.
What you mean going up?
Like, read it. But with whom was he grieved 40 years? Was it not with them that had sinned, whose carcasses fell in the wilderness, right? Okay. And to whom swore he that they should not enter into his rest, but to them that believe not. So, in other words, it wasn't everybody that entered into the wilderness, that was in the wilderness. He didn't, everybody, he didn't tell they weren't going to go into the promised land. Because everybody 20 and under got in.
Right.
So for everybody else, they didn't make it in, right? So that's who he was talking to because they didn't believe. Right. So they didn't enter into his rest, right? But you did have some people who did enter into his rest. Right? Well, not necessarily rest, but you did have some enter into the promised land. But they did enter into his rest because this is why in verse 15, read verse 15. What does it say?
While it is said, today if we hear his voice, harden not your hearts, as in the provocation.
Right, thank you, Vincent. Woo, you got it. he said, harden not your hearts, right? As in the provocation, right? But he say, while it is said today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your hearts, as in the provocation. So that's taking you back to where? Psalms, 95, right? Okay, let's go back to Psalm 95. Let's go look at it. Psalm 95.
Yeah, somebody did with his voice.
Absolutely. Right. That's right. Psalm 95. And the question for those online, the question is, In Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 8, it says, "For if Jesus had given them rest, then he would not afterward have spoken of another day." So the question is that Jesus or actually Joshua? My response was, that's talking about Joshua. It's just a translation because Jesus and Joshua translate. So now, Brother Vincent, we're showing Brother Vincent according to the Bible how we get there, right? So Psalm 95, read verse 8.
Harden not your heart as in the provocation,
Uh-huh.
and as in the day of temptation in the wilderness.
Uh-huh. Keep reading.
When your father tempted me, proved me, and saw my work.
Mm-hmm.
40 years long was I grieved with this generation,
Uh-huh.
and said, it is a people that do err in their heart,
Uh-huh.
and they have not known my ways.
Keep reading. What else he say?
Unto whom I swear in my wrath
Uh-huh.
that they should not enter into my rest.
Oh, wait a minute. He said now, right? They pissed the Lord off, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he said they not gonna enter into my rest.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
All right, so now let's go back to Hebrews. Keep that in mind now, right?
Mhm.
But he's taking you back. When did he say this? When did this come about? This came about when they came out of Egypt into the wilderness.
Mhm.
Right.
And they made God mad. Y'all
Right.
not getting into my rest.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So now, let's see here. So pick this up at verse 15, Hebrews 3 and 15. What that say?
3 and 15 says,
Uh-huh.
while it is said, today if you will hear his voice,
Uh-huh.
harden not your hearts,
Mhm.
as in the provocation.
Okay, so now talking to us now, right? Because look, you know, we doing this thing by faith just like they were, but they didn't mix it with faith.
Mhm.
You know, they had it right there, but they didn't mix it, and they ended up making God mad. And he told them, "You ain't going into my rest." So what he said? He said, "For some, when they had heard, did provoke.
Mhm.
Howbeit, not all that came out of Egypt by Moses. Everybody didn't make God mad."
Right.
Right.
That's what he means when he say. That's what he means when he say, "Howbeit, not all that came out of Egypt by Moses." But with what?
But with whom he grieved 40 years?
But whom was he upset with for 40 years? What he say?
Was it not with them that had sinned?
Oh, wait a minute. That's who he was upset with, right?
Yeah.
When he was upset with the ones that sinned. Keep reading.
Whose carcasses fell in the wilderness?
Keep reading.
And to whom swore he that they should not enter into his rest?
Keep reading.
But to them that believe not.
Right, so that's who he was upset with, right? Not everybody.
Right.
Right.
You see, he was upset with the ones that did believe. That's why he say, look, he said, and to whom swear he that they should not enter into his what? His rest.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
But to them that believe not. Go to read 19.
So we see that they could not enter in because of unbelief.
Keep reading.
Let us therefore fear lest a promise being left us of entering into his rest.
Wait a minute. So clearly, when he was talking about they weren't going to enter into his rest,
Yeah.
he wasn't talking about them entering into the promised land at that time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because he
Yeah.
turned right around years later, and the writer's saying, hey, you better watch yourself, for you don't enter into that rest either.
Right.
So that lets us know we're talking about something outside of what took place in the wilderness, right?
Right.
Go to read. What else?
Okay, let's start again. Let us therefore fear lest a promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it.
Keep reading.
For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them. But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it.
Right, so it was preached to them, but they didn't have no faith. They didn't
Right.
profit, right? You gotta have faith, right?
Right.
Just like with us, you gotta have faith. Even though they had the Lord walking with them, Moses leading them out and stuff like that, they still didn't have faith. If you have faith, hey, your actions are sure.
Right. Right.
So likewise, don't you get caught up in the same
Right.
situation.
Right.
Read 3.
For we which have believed
Uh-huh.
do enter into rest,
Mhm.
as he said, as I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works were finished from the foundation of the world.
Right, but look, notice what he said. He said, for we which have believed do enter into his rest. In other words, we've already received it. Like in other words, hey, you already grabbed it. You got hold of it.
Oh.
You doing the things necessary that's gonna put you inside this day of rest. But why you doing that? Because you don't believe. You believe. You already got it.
Right,
like
right.
like for instance, we saw earlier today, right? We saw about you don't need to come speak in tongues to me, bro. I believe the prophets.
Right. Right.
You understand? I believe that there's a day coming when we're gonna rest. I got it. That's why I'm doing what's necessary.
Right.
You understand? My faith is in God. I ain't got to do nothing. I ain't worried about. I ain't got to kill no animals and nothing like that. I believe in God. I have faith in. I have faith in the whole operation of God. Him sending His Son Jesus to die.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I will keep the law like I'm supposed to because I already entered into His rest. I got it. I understand what you're saying, Lord. That's why He's saying, "For we which have believed." do enter into rest, but your beliefs are followed by some actions, correct? Then he said, as I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, what else?
Although the works were finished from the foundation of the world.
What else he said?
For he spake in a certain place of the seventh day on this wise. And God did rest the seventh day from all his works.
Keep reading.
And in this place again, if they shall enter into my rest.
Right, so why we keep talking about rest if God rested at the beginning of the world? Then another place he said, if they shall enter into my rest. Why does this rest keep coming up? What does it say, brother?
Seeing therefore it remaineth that some must enter therein, and they to whom it was first preached enter not in because of unbelief.
Okay, so look, evidently this rest we're talking about, it still exists.
Right.
It hadn't been fulfilled yet. That's why it says, seeing therefore it remained that some must enter therein. Enter into what? Enter into this rest. That the Lord told him in Psalm 95, look, you ain't gonna get into my rest.
Right.
Now we way down in Psalm 95. They was right outside the promised land. You know, he told them they're going to enter into my rest. And then now we way down here in the book of Hebrews, thousands of years later, and we still talking about you better have faith so you don't get cut off from that rest either. Must be talking about something else.
Right.
That's why he says, seeing therefore it remained that some must enter therein, and they to whom it was first preached, talking about those in the wilderness, entered not in because of unbelief, right? But he's not talking about not entering into the wilderness. In other words, this rest that coming, they ain't getting in. Why they ain't entering in? Because they ain't believing. There wasn't no faith backs up. There wasn't no actions backing up with what they were seeing. But there was no, because your actions show you believe. Like you get a check, right? From your job, you ain't gonna just sit home and wait on the check. You're gonna go to work. They're not gonna pay you that day. They should.
Right.
But even if you work for 8 hours, you working expecting to get a check 8 hours later. If you know what I'm saying, you never get paid before you start working. You have faith that they're gonna be legit and pay you after you finish, right? Likewise, just with this. So your faith has to be followed by some action. That's the point. So it says what? Read verse 7.
Again, he limited a certain day, saying in David, today, after so long a time, as it is said, today, if you hear his voice, harden not your heart.
Oh, now look at what he's saying now. He said, hey, again, he limited a certain day, saying in who?
David.
What are we talking about saying in David?
Today, after
No, what are we talking about when it says saying in David? What are we talking about? Talking about in the book of Psalms.
Yeah.
Oh, when you said
David is responsible for Psalm, right? So that's why he say, look, again, he limited a certain day, saying in David, today, after so long a time, as it is said, today, if you will hear his voice, do what?
Harden not your heart.
And then we read out of Psalm 95?
Yes, sir.
He said, harden not your heart. That's why he took it back to David, because they wrote Psalms.
Yeah.
But don't what he said in verse 8.
For if Jesus had given them rest.
Wait a minute now. How are we going from Moses to Jesus Christ?
Yeah.
Who came after Moses?
Joshua.
Joshua did. You see? Moses didn't take him into the promised land. Joshua took them into the promised land. That's why it says, for if Jesus, talking about Joshua, had given them rest, what else?
Then would he not afterward have spoken of another day?
Keep reading.
Therefore, a rest to the people of God.
Right, so look, if Joshua had took them into the land, that was the rest that the Lord was talking about, then why is the Lord still talking about a rest that we need to worry about?
Right.
You understand?
Right.
That's why we know this is Joshua. Matter of fact, go to Acts chapter 7.
Yeah, my book got Joshua circling.
They do?
Yeah, they got
Y'all see Joshua down there for translation. They got Joshua, but I'm just saying,
right, you're trying to figure
it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, that makes sense, man. Like, because when I heard it, I was like, dang, I ain't never seen that.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out, okay, now. They saying Jesus,
but it makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's talking about the translation.
Yeah.
Like Joshua translate from Joshua, Yehoshua, Y-E-H-O-S-H-U-A, Yehoshua, and Yahshua, and Hosea. H-O-S-H-E-A.
Yeah.
Hosea.
Translation.
Translate.
Oh, yeah.
What else? So Acts 7.
Acts 7.
Okay. Pick this up at verse start at verse 38. Acts 7 verse 38. Go ahead and read that.
This is he.
Hold on, you there, brother?
Okay.
Brother?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, go ahead and read that.
This is he that was in the church in the wilderness. which spake to him in the Mount Sinai, and with our fathers, who received the lively oracles to give unto us,
Keep reading.
to whom our fathers would not obey, but thrust him from them, and in their hearts turned back again into Egypt.
Talking about when they came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to go back to Egypt.
Yeah.
They got delivered, but hey, they still weren't satisfied, right?
Right.
So go ahead and read. What else?
Saying unto Aaron, make us gods to go before us, for as far this Moses, which brought us out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him.
Go and keep reading. That's what's talking about what happened when that's what happened when Moses went up to see Jesus on the mountain. And he come back down. They had turned the doggone the gold and stuff that was on there and turned it to a molten calf.
Right.
Genesis 32.
Exodus 32.
Exodus 32.
They start worshiping. Go ahead and read. What else?
And they made a calf in those days and offered sacrifice unto the idol and rejoiced in the works of their own hands.
Keep reading.
Then God turned and gave them up to worship the host of heaven, as it is written in the book of the prophets, O ye house of Israel, have ye offered to me slain beasts and sacrificed by the space of 40 years in the wilderness?
That's what they're doing. Doing it like that. Keep reading.
Yeah, ye took up the tabernacles of Moloch and the star of your god Remphan, figures which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you away beyond Babylon. Our fathers had the tabernacle of witness in the wilderness, as he had appointed, speaking unto Moses, that he should make it according to the fashion that he had seen.
So look, so we talking about what happened in the wilderness, right? Verse 44. It said our fathers had the tabernacle of witness in the wilderness, right? Talking about the tabernacle that he built up, right? Then it says, as he had appointed, speaking unto Moses. So the Lord had showed Moses how he needs to build that tabernacle, right? And he had it done. That's why I said that he should make it according to the fashion that he had seen. Which what? 45.
Which also our fathers that came after brought in with Jesus.
Wait a minute. Which also our fathers that came after who? After Moses, right? They had the possession because Moses didn't get into the land. But our fathers came afterwards, right? So it said, which also our fathers that came after brought in with who?
Jesus.
Jesus wasn't back there in the flesh. Who was there that was bringing them in?
Joshua.
Yeah.
I never caught that.
It's all good. I got you, brother. I got you, brother. You see what? Which also our fathers that came after brought in with Jesus into the possession of what?
Into the possession. You get me messed up. With Jesus into the possession of the Gentiles, whom God drave out before the face of our fathers into the days of David.
That's right. So you see how it's kind of giving you a rundown. Giving you a rundown from Moses down to Jesus, all the way down to David, into the hands of the Gentiles. From Gentiles down to David. So hopefully that answers the question right there.
Yeah.
But guess what?
It's in the Old Testament too, man. Jesus in the Old Testament too. The word like Joshua, it actually calls him Jesus.
Yeah. I was what I saw.
No, it say Jesus.
It say Jesus.
Yeah, if I can find it.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that threw me off. I said Jesus. Now, hold on now. I say Jesus, but it's talking about Joshua.
Yeah, you're right. I think Yeshua. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joshua. They say Yeshua. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
You know what your name mean? I can think about
That's right. Yeah, my brother named Joshua. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Wow. You learn something every day.
Yeah.
So I got a question.
It's so much.
I got a question here. Let me see if I can. So my wife, she had a question. She's trying to. She don't understand. But she said she's not getting. This is what she said. She said, you know how you give the visual. The Father looks down when we have our head covered. We look the same. She said that doesn't click for me because then my sister upstairs wearing a hat, so we look the same to him. And my dad, who ain't wearing a covering right now, he looked the same as me. And when y'all do wear hats, y'all don't look the same. Question mark. Why do you say that, right? So this is what I said. We're gonna go into the Bible.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, but we talking about dealing with the order in the house, dealing with praying and prophesying.
Yeah.
However, if you as a woman praying with your head covered, it's as if you're shaving or bald. I guess in other words, God just seeing the face is what counts. You know what I'm saying? Like the faces are almost looking the same.
Right.
Because evidently, if it wasn't the face, then why you got to cover your hair?
Yeah.
Why you gotta cover your head then? You know what I'm saying? So evidently the faces must look the same then. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But he said, I guess in other words, so I said, not the hair, but the man is image of God, period. Not the woman, but he needs his hat off of his head to stay looking like that image of God when he praying. And that's what we're gonna look at. So let's go over here and look, and hopefully we can clear it up. Because I know that can be kind of tough.
Yeah.
So 1 Corinthians chapter 11. All right, so let's start this off in verse 1. You understood that, brother Vincent?
Yes,
You
sir.
got an answer?
Yes, sir. Yeah. My head still smoking down. Yeah, but I got it.
Praise God. I learned it from my teacher, man.
Yeah,
I learned it from my teacher.
wow.
I learned this from him too. I learned everything. I learned everything. Him and JD, I learned a lot from him, especially a lot. All right, so look, he say, let's start at verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ. Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you.
Okay, so ordinances like order, law, let's see here.
Tradition.
Yeah. All right, I know. No, I'm not gonna use church. You want to look at my phone. Okay, let's look at this word ordinance. And this would be, like I said, this would be for people that are dealing with the word. Like if somebody like walking around the house today with a hat on, they're not gonna fit this conversation right now, because we talking about. Remember, Paul is writing to those in Corinthians.
Yeah.
He's dealing with church folks. All right, so ordinance is a piece of legislation enacted by a municipal authority, right? For example, it says the city ordinance bans smoking in nearly all types of restaurants, or an authoritative order or decree. So that's what ordinance is, right?
Okay.
An order. It's not like something you have to do. So this is the ordinance that he's given, right? So he says, check out what this ordinance is. What he said in verse 3.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
Okay, so there's ordinance, or how we, and also in addition is we see some order here, right? The head of every man is Christ, correct? Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Keep reading.
And the head of Christ is God.
Okay, start from the top down. We got God is over Jesus. Jesus is over the man. The man is over the woman, right? Okay, go ahead and read what it said, verse 4.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
Right, so if you put on the hat as a man, you praying or prophesying. That's what we have to understand.
Right.
So this has something to do with praying and prophesying, not just somebody walking around with a hat on, you know what I'm saying, a girl, while Sabbath is going on, she ain't got her head covered. This ain't talking about that. This is referring to man praying and prophesying. That's what this has something to do with, right? Like you praying and prophesying, you seeking the Lord, supplication, prophesying, you dealing with the word and stuff like that. That's why, like when we start dealing with the word, what we do is we'll, even if I'm talking to you about the Bible and I ain't got my Bible, and I'm starting to quote stuff out the Bible, telling you prophecies of the word, like we'll do it. We'll do it real slick. We might be talking to somebody who don't know the word, but I'm talking to you about the scriptures. I got my head covered, my hat on. I slowly go and pull out. Like I was talking to somebody about the word, one of my customers, I was cutting their grass. And the dude came outside trying to talk to me about the scriptures, older gentleman. You know what I'm saying? And I was talking to him and stuff, and I just like started taking my do-rag off, and I pulled it off, put it in my pocket. And I started going in on him. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't know what I was doing, but I knew I was prophesying that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm taking, because I ain't trying to dishonor God.
Right,
but I'm praying and prophesying at this point.
Right.
So I'm taking my covering off. You see what I'm saying? Because now we getting off into the realm of God.
Right.
We ain't just in the realm of just running around talking to your homeboy. Now we dealing with God now. So I'm gonna show some respect. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and read what else it said.
Okay,
Verse
but
5.
but every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head.
Okay, so look now. But now, like this is the place where parentheses could have been at. It ain't here, but like just say for instance right here, but every man praying that, but every woman that prayer prophesied with her head uncovered, she dishonor her head, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and read what it says.
For that is even all one as if she were shaved.
Okay, so now if she have her head covered, right? It's almost like she's shaving. That's why it says right in verse 6, what?
For if the woman be not covered.
So why is it saying for if she be not covered, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because evidently if she's shaving, it's like, if they shaving, it looks like all the same.
Yeah.
He say, but every woman that prayer prophesied with the head uncovered, dishonor her head, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if she have a covering on, it's like they're all like one, one. That's why I say, for that is even all one as if she were shaven. But what is it saying right here? What does it mean when it say, for that is even all one? What we talking about? We talking about the head all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? It's taking you back to that. That's why you got to know how to understand Paul's writing. So it's letting you know it's like almost all of them when it comes to praying and prophesying, they look the same. So even if this woman go before the Lord, you know what I'm saying? She ain't going with her husband. She going by herself though. Yeah. But still, we got the same image going on. Right. You know what I'm saying? We got this order going on, but at the same time, remember though, we also got Satan that's watching this too. Though.
Yeah.
Remember, it also shows some order. When he look at it, that's why it tell you later on that she needs this. Because she needs power on her head because of the angels.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like what power we talking about? She got a husband as a head, but how Satan know you got a head? Right. Because you got a covering on you. Yeah. But it says, for if the woman be not covered, let her also be. Now read verse 5 again. I'm sorry.
Okay. But every woman that prayeth or prophesied with her head uncovered dishonored her head. For that is even all one as if she were shaven.
Keep reading.
For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered.
Hold on, come back to verse 5. Read that again.
But every woman that prayeth or prophesied with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head. For that is even all one as if she were shaven.
Okay, keep going.
For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of God. But the woman is the glory of the man.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I'm reading this wrong. Every man, that woman, that prayer prophesied with her head uncovered, dishonor her head. That is even all one, as if she was shaved. Hold on one second. I'm trying to see something. Yeah, that's all I'm saying right there. I don't see nothing different right there. They say, but every woman that prayed or prophesied with her head uncovered dishonor her head. But if it's like right here. It's like, but if she has her head covered, it says it's almost like it's saying, but it's not saying. But if she have her head covered, it's even all one as. For what? Read verse 6.
For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered.
So it say, for if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But why she need to be? Why? If she ain't gonna be covered, why she need to cut her hair off? Like, just think about that though. Why she need to cut her hair off?
Because it's a shame for a woman.
Yeah.
Because of the
It
hair.
don't say that. It don't say it's a shame for a woman to cut her hair. it say if she praying and prophesying and she don't have her head covered, she need to cut all her hair off. Why? What's so important about her cutting off all her hair?
But it said, it's a shame. But,
wait, say that again.
She's the image of the man.
Right, not the image of God.
right.
So she need to cut her hair off.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's gonna make them. I guess in God's eye, they all look alike. It's gonna bring everybody on one accord. That's why it says here, for that is even all one as if she were shaven. Then it says, for if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her what? Let her be covered. So if you're ashamed of cutting off all your hair, then
You need to be covered.
then cover your hair.
Yeah.
But it ain't a shame for a woman to be bald.
No, it ain't a shame.
Nah, because remember now we talking to Gentiles.
Yeah.
And we talking to Gentiles and they custom. They cut as Gentiles, hey, their custom was for women to have long hair. That's why later on in this chapter, Paul said, that ain't our custom, that a man can't have long hair. A woman's hair covered. He said that ain't our custom. Neither are the churches of God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing I can see right here based on reading this. But if every woman, verse 5, but every woman that pray or prophesy with her head uncovered, dishonor her head. For that is even all one as if she were shaven. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he explains why she need to have her head covered with that colon right there. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. But I could be wrong, but I doubt it because.
But I got something out of this. Because I have been talking about and quoting about, and I have my hat on. So I really thought it was talking about, if you was in service. I didn't really.
Okay, so now check this out. A colon is like it says here. It says a punctuation mark. What the hell? What time are you saying? A punctuation mark used to precede a list of items, a quotation or an expansion or explanation.
Yeah.
All right. A colon used in various technical and formality context, for example, a statement of proportion between two numbers. Anyway, so it looked like we got this explaining why she shouldn't have her head uncovered. Because it says, for that is even all one as if she was shaven, if she has it on. Why she praying and prophesying. Every man praying and prophesying, having his head covered, dishonor his head. But every woman that pray or prophesy with her head uncovered, dishonor her head. For that is even all one as if she were shaven. So it seems like it's taking it all the way back to the top and bringing it all the way down. Yeah. Then it says, for if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. Go ahead and read what it says.
But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered.
Right. So if it's a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, then let her be covered. Let her cover her head if it's a shame for a woman to be bald-headed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he ain't say you couldn't do that. But listen, if you're going to be praying and prophesy, you need to cut your hair off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and read it. What else?
Yeah.
Verse 7.
For a man indeed ought not to cover his head.
So listen, when it comes to a man indeed ought not to cover his head for what?
For as much as he is the image and glory of God.
Now pay attention now. So he's the image and glory. So we got a look that's out here now. You know what I'm saying? Like when the Father looking at this from the top down, he's looking at a particular image. And this man, he's the image and glory of God. So as far as he is concerned, look, don't cover your head.
Right.
Because it's like naturally we don't got long hair anyway.
Right.
But even if you do when you praying, God still know you a man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Paul just showing you some things. You ain't got to go shave your head. For the most part, hey, we don't have long hair anyway, but God still know you a man. Like he ain't stupid. So he say, for a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of God, but what?
But the woman is the glory of the man.
Right, but the woman is the glory of the man. So look, it would make sense for her to cover her head. Because God didn't make her in the image of how he made himself. He made her in the image of man, right? Yeah. So she came from him, but she got a little more than what this man got. She got hair. She got, physical parts or whatever, you know what I'm saying, that are different from a man. Right. So it just seemed like, from what I'm reading, and he telling you why, he go right here in verse 7, he said, for a man indeed ought not to cover his head,
Why should not a man cover his head? Because he is the image and glory of God.
Right.
Why does the woman need to cover her head? Because she, or the woman, is the glory of the man. You know, so that's all I can give you on that. I hope that helped you out.
Yeah.
But we can go down a little further.
Okay.
But
Just want to comment. Like I say, like you said, Paul explained the order of things, that God's order, but he's using it like the natural things of a man or a woman, their hair, and they use that as a natural thing. Explain the spiritual thing. You know what I mean?
no, he's talking about physical.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, but he using the natural, the physical natural thing, like the hair of a man or a woman, to explain the order of God in so many terms. You know what I mean? Like you said, the head covering, but he's using it in terms of like a man's hair and a woman's. the woman's hair towards, like I said, a woman's hair should be shaven. It's like it'd be a shame for a woman to be her hair to be shorn or shaven, right?
Right. So if it's a shame for her to cut her hair off, if that's a shame.
But using that as an example, as far as explaining, how the hierarchy is between God and man. You know what I mean? For the order of things. So using the hair as an example.
Okay.
So that's how I'm looking at it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm trying to get what you're saying. Help me out.
Okay, when he uses the order of things, like God is the head of Jesus is the head of man, and man is the head of the woman. But using it in terms of like the head covering, using the analogy of hair, displaying that in situations like a man's hair, a woman's hair, explain like a woman's hair be short or shaven. But it said, okay, in that case, then you need to have a covering on. Using the hair as an example. Like further down, he goes said the hair is the glory. The hair is the glory of the woman. Later on in this verse, he's just using the hair in terms of
but that ain't,
what I'm saying.
Not the glory of the woman.
I'm just saying that's what it said down in 15.
Right, but the hair is not the glory of the woman.
I know, but I'm just saying in natural terms. You know what I'm saying?
Right, naturally, it's nothing.
Why would you say that?
Because naturally, the hair is not the glory of a woman.
It says right here, but if a woman have long hair, it is a glory to her.
Keep reading.
For her hair is given her for a cover.
Keep reading.
Mm-hmm. But if a man seems to be contentious, we have no such custom in the churches of God.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
So woman's hair is not her glory.
Well, I'm just saying.
He said we don't have that. Ain't our custom. Right. That's the Gentile.
Yeah.
That's not our custom.
Not saying it's our custom. I'm just saying we're using the hair as an example. I guess to explain, the order of things. You know what I mean? In terms of being a hair for a glory of a woman, because that's their custom. But that's their glory. The woman's glory to her hair.
Right. So
he was explaining it to them so what they could understand.
Right, as far as like
yeah. Right. That's what I'm talking about.
As far as like shade.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. That's why I'm saying today, you know how it's very you have an industry of weave industry.
Right.
That's very lucrative because women like to have long hair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel what you're saying.
Yeah.
But he turned right around and said, but look, if any man sees to be contentious, that ain't our custom. That ain't what we believe.
Right.
If that's the case, then all these brothers running around here with dreads, that's the problem. Because it say right after that, does not nature teach you that it's a shame for a man to have long hair?
Right.
But that ain't our custom.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But he was just telling in terms of why they would understand.
If you feel like this, if you feel ashamed when you cut your hair off,
put a
hat on.
Yeah, you got it now.
You took me around. We gonna work this out. We gonna get this bit.
I know that's right.
Yeah, that's right, bro.
Yes,
I feel
sir.
you. But I hope that helped out, honey. That's the best I can do for you.
Yeah, that's good.
Why am I sitting on this?
So, brother, as you were thinking in terms of, you didn't have to pull up your hat like you was in a church setting. That's what you were saying earlier.
No. What I said, he straightened me out on something else. I have been talking to people, and I have my hat because I wear a hat just about all the time. And I never thought about to pull the hat out.
I fill you up.
You got something good?
Water from. You need water? No, nothing in the bed with.
Oh, so you
So that's what I got straightened out.
What's that?
No, I mean, I have been talking to people, you started quoting thing in the Bible, but I never thought about pulling my hat out.
Oh, really?
No, I mean, because I was just taking that as a church setting. But when you read it, it don't read that.
Oh, no, I don't read that.
Yeah, I mean, So now I know from now on when I keep doing that, I need to take my hat off. But you learn something there.
Oh, yeah. That's why.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
learn more every week.
That
You know?
way it is.
So yeah, praying and prophesying. That's why, like, if you ever go out to eat with church setting with people in the Word of God, right? Ever go out to eat with people in the Word of God? And like say we all ever went out and all the church went out, sisters went out, brothers went out. You gonna see sisters grab a paper towel. They ain't got no covering. When they say they grace the prayer of the food, they'll take like a paper towel and cover their head. Bless the food. You take it out.
Yeah.
Because it's prayer and prophesying. So yeah, even at home, you get on your knee. It'd be hard sometimes for me, you know, I pray inside my head, like if I'm riding somewhere. I mean, you know, I be trying to pray all the time though.
Well,
you know, in my head, I just
yeah.
be like, who else can I talk to? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know people that crazy too.
I tried to explain it to a girl when I was away,
Mm-hmm.
and she told me that was the reason why God wanted us to grow hair, because that was our cover. And I told her that our hair had nothing to do with our cover.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's really great.
Like, she screwed me down. She was like, no, she was like, so if I can wear it. I was like, no, that's not what they're saying.
Right. If anything, take the wig off. Cut your hair off. You know what I'm saying? Don't put the wig on. People think they still, but you see why we say that, right?
They can't say that.
But see, they probably ain't all the way down there. They probably just read it one verse.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
Yeah,
Like,
and
that's
just
like
stop.
one brother first came into the Word, and I know she didn't want to deal with it. She didn't want to deal with covering her head, man. And he called me up one day. He was like, Brother Nate, my wife found something in the Bible and said, well, she ain't got to cover her head because her hair is her glory. I said, brother, that's not the case, bro. He was like, well, hold on, she want to talk to you. She got on the phone. She read this verse. She said to me, but if a woman have long hair, it is a glory to her, for her hair is given for a cover. She say, see, so I ain't got to wear no hair cover. And I said, wait a minute. Keep reading. But if any man seem to be contentious, we have no such custom in the church of God.
Wow.
You know, she's not. You gotta keep reading. But you know, people looking for stuff to try to justify or to take themselves out of doing what the Bible say, you know, when it first starts. So yeah. But any questions? Any more questions in the house? Any more questions in the house?
So very white and Israelite.
Say that?
Very white and Israelite.
I don't know what's his fault.
I don't know. I was hearing the music. I was sound like very white.
Oh, what? You never seen him?
Very white.
Have you seen him?
Yeah.
Have you seen him?
No, I don't know what it look like.
Oh, he
He dog.
He know he. I'm saying, dude, knowledgeable.
I don't know, man.
And that's a rhetorical question. I'm really being silly, bro.
No, I don't know.
Consequence.
No, I don't know, man. Why? Because he rocked the beard?
Yeah.
He rocked it. Well, Jerry LeBert them used to rock theirs too.
Like that was like a
But I mean, you just look at the time we in. I mean, you go from Big Daddy Kane to Lil Baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had men back in the day. Nowadays,
Everybody want to have face hair on their face now.
yeah, it's crazy now.
It is,
It's
man.
crazy.
I'm fighting for a beard. If I can.
Yeah.
Rocking like Joe.
I ain't seen that stuff, did I? I gotta see that stuff. But go ahead, brother.
You said something, I don't know if I heard it right, but if you praying within yourself, you gotta have a head. I mean, you gotta remove
No,
it.
I didn't say.
I'm just saying I thought I heard what
I'm saying I pray all the time.
Me too, I do too.
Cap
Let me
on.
ask you a question.
I can't take it off. Like, it just be sometimes I just be like talking to the Lord. I don't necessarily be looking for stuff. I be like thanking God. You know
That's what I do.
But it be in my head.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm saying. I said, okay. And I know I thought I heard you say something to that effect.
I was telling you like how I be struggling. Like,
Right.
you know, I'm not trying to pray.
But I'm constantly praying.
Talk to you. You know
I'm
what I'm
constantly
saying?
praying all the time. And like I say, in my mind.
But like, I guess when you get on the knees, I'm trying to see. Like, I just
Right.
use my mind.
I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just waiting on somebody on YouTube to see
Yeah.
put their questions. See if they're gonna get them.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, to emphasize on the woman's hair covering, we can see really clearly that back in the Old Testament, Numbers chapter 5, it talks about how the priest had to remove the head covering on the woman because in order for him to put a curse on her,
Yeah, to move her.
Yeah, that's a curse of jealousy, right?
Power jealousy.
That's how you your wife is cheating on you. Cut her hair, take her to the prayer, I'll pray over. She get a big belly and some nasty.
It's called a spirit of jealousy.
Yeah.
But that's one way you know that. That's one way you know, or you can show how important the covering is, because
That still work to this day.
it's like the angel couldn't. It's like the angel couldn't do nothing to have a priest.
Yeah.
Spirit jealousy on you.
And that particular dust from that tabernacle, the temple.
Man, they go, man.
But you think about it, man. Like the angel couldn't touch her until she moved that covering.
Covenant, yeah.
So evidently that must mean something. You see what I'm saying?
Got power.
Yeah.
That power. And that's what, it's like, I mean, it's almost like once you move the power off of her, man, like Satan, like this a woman, man, I can get at her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
You got that covering.
most.
Got that cover, you can't touch it. And that's what I'm saying. It kind of go back to when you're looking at this man. He made an image of God, man. So this woman ain't made an image of God.
Right.
But she put that covering on, now it's like all of them look the same. Like it's like everybody's on one accord. What other reason would there be to put a covering on a woman and take the covering off of a man? Besides, he turned right around and said, "For the man is in the image of God."
Right.
Or that for that for can also be exchanged. You can use because man is in the image of God.
Right.
So he didn't keep that cover.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
It makes sense. A lot of sense.
So I hope it registers.
Yeah.
Anything else?
You got any report about the Bible prophecy about the third temple? Anything about that heifer over there in Israel? I've been hearing a lot of rumors that they actually going to start building this third temple.
Huh?
Because when Trump went over there and like pretty much acknowledged the coming fact that Jerusalem always been the capital of Israel, now they feel like it's time to build this third temple. And I've been seeing a lot of posts on social media basically that it's almost, I know I know it's that time, but I just kind of want to see if we can like kind of pinpoint directly exactly what we would be standing. You know what I'm saying? Because like,
Say that last part
the
again?
Lord gonna come return on the feast day.
Uh-huh.
Either I think it's Ingathering, if I'm not mistaken. No, Atonement. So
Atonement, yeah.
So with that being said, now we can kind of almost say we got a good, I want to say, safe to say 5 years.
No.
5 more
No,
times.
no.
Less than that.
No, you gotta get the animals. You gotta start sacrificing.
But then I gotta stop. No bless you, I gotta stop by the Pope.
You gotta start sacrificing. You start sacrificing, then from the time they start sacrificing to the end of the world. Like,
See, now I've been
listen,
reading.
can I finish talking?
Oh, my bad, bro.
Thank you. From the time they start sacrificing to the end of the world, that's almost 6.5 years.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So they ain't even started. You do 2,300 days, divide 2,300 days into 365. See what you get.
All right, I'm gonna calculate out.
Look it up.
Yeah, that's when the 300 days come.
That's when it starts. When they kill the first animal, then 2,300 days start. When you get to the end of 2,300 days, that's when the Lord returns. So that's going to take you like 6 years. Somebody do 2,300 divided by 300 and just do 65. Yeah.
I mean, now you got the gist of my question. What?
You see what I'm saying? So,
So
you got some time.
six and a third.
So we got like 6 years and some change, man. So
Okay, so
and then
now,
3.5 years of those gonna be in the wilderness. So you got like 2 years and some change while they sacrifice now.
so would they be able to do that before they build the third temple? Say if they just got the altar there, can they start doing
They
it
can
then?
start.
They can start.
They can start, yeah.
That's what I've been seeing, that they already started it with the altar. They ain't built the temple yet, but they got the
They
altar.
They got all the material.
They can start sacrificing.
So they can start today all the way until
They can
6
start
years.
Tuesday.
And it could be the last 3.5 years.
They can start today. Gotta start off the 6 years.
Damn, it's hard to know.
And then that 3.5 years, that temple gotta be there.
No, we got send some spies.
Remember, he
over there,
gotta get in
man.
that temple.
All right, true. We need
He
some
gotta
spies.
stand in the temple of God as God.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what he gotta do. He gonna stand in the temple of God,
Make it
show
something
himself
like an
that he is.
appreciation for Hell,
That's when he's going to be the bigger prize.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's scary. It's getting, we really get close, ain't it?
Oh yeah, the world coming to an end.
Oh, God, that's close.
I mean,
Around the corner.
one of the major signs is that he gonna wake his people up.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? He told that in Ezekiel chapter 37. So like, that's what he doing.
We get close to the border. We close.
Yeah.
Wow.
Waking his people up, man.
That's
He
scary,
almost
man.
done.
That's scary. You know what I mean?
But they got, but I mean, you just got to pay attention though. You ain't hear all this sacrifice and talk a few years ago.
Sure.
They talking about it a lot now.
A lot now. You ain't lying.
Trump demand, they demanding people to come up, 20 countries to come on up and take part in the sacrifice. I think it's supposed to be doing in December.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? In December,
Yeah.
20 nations supposed to come up.
Yeah,
Like,
they have the meeting like in August.
and they supposed to, and it's supposed to come up in
Bro,
December, right?
you
Like,
know,
a man,
so
I
excited,
think Pope,
bro.
somebody called it
They're
mandatory.
supposed to be
Yeah.
doing
Who is
the
it?
mantle. They're
It's
supposed to
the,
be doing the mantle of the temple on December, I believe it was 5th.
What they gonna do? Kill animals?
They said that's supposed to be, but you
Right.
know,
Because
as
I
of
think
right now,
they
it's a
was telling
rumor.
people to come up. Now that may not start a sacrifice. What you gotta look for is daily.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta look for daily. But the point is, like, you weren't hearing this 20 years
You
ago.
ain't lying.
Like, you weren't hearing nobody talking about sacrificing no animals and none of that. Like, they put it out there.
Breaking news.
And it's funny they put it out there now that we done start preaching about
Yeah.
They're actually
But they-
practicing, bro. Like they're
it.
practicing.
They've been practicing.
Yeah, they've been
sacrificing
training.
They do it every year. Yeah, you're
No,
right.
I'm saying
Right.
they're doing it a lot more now.
Right.
Like they picked it up ever since they had that conference meeting.
A few,
They started. Yeah, it was
was it last
like
year?
a few weeks. No, it was this year. A few weeks ago.
uh-huh.
They had a meeting, and it just ever since that day they've been doing practice sacrifices on this little temporary mantle
Uh-huh.
that's out in the public
You talking about the
until
altar?
they could
Bruh.
until they could
When they
actually
dedicated
get
last
the temple built.
All kind of stuff going on right
When they
now.
dedicated?
So they got a Jerusalem march. Dollars take part in that in 1 week. That was 1 week
Yeah,
ago.
all the religious
And the
leaders
United
that met up and
Nations-
everything.
I think that's what you said. The United Nations just renewed its arms embargo against Iran for Israel. And then some just got exposed by the secret plan for Nats and Lieberman. I don't know nothing about that now. They got the real prophecy. But yeah, they talking about the UN just renewed some stuff for Israel. So
I noticed a lot of images. You know, we must be hitting a point, and we must be getting across to a lot of people. Cause when I look on Facebook, it's like every other 3 or 4 clips I see an image of this white Jesus.
Mhm.
I guess they're trying to put that image back out there to kind of reinforce people. You feel me?
man, that man is cooked.
I'm like, wow, we must be really hitting a nerve. You feel me? That's all I've been seeing, to keep the white Jesus image over and over and over again. I guess to kind of solidify what they believe, or what they're trying to get us to believe, that Jesus is still the Caesar Borgia, whatever the name is. But we know better. But that image get more and more on Facebook, I noticed.
Well, they can still got that red heifer up there. Yeah, they already got one over there. They just seeing if they're gonna get any flaws. I think that's what put us right here.
Wow.
For next year, if they don't see no flaw, they might do it anyway. They about tired of waiting. But if they don't see no flaw, they're supposed to kill him.
So in terms of the sacrifice now, I know they practice the sacrificing now, but when we actually know that's the real deal, you know what I mean? When they start doing it
When
daily,
they actually do the altar.
okay. They start doing it daily.
Sacrifice.
That's when you know it's real. And then you gotta start counting.
Right, 'cause that's what you gotta look for. You gotta look for the daily sacrifice.
Daily sacrifice, right?
Daily sacrifice.
Yeah.
Lamb in the morning, lamb in the evening. That's what you gotta look for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because they're gonna come stop the daily sacrifice.
Yeah, right. They're gonna come and
Right.
stop it. Yeah. That's you know. So you actually got a time frame. Well, that's scary, ain't it? Once you actually see the daily sacrifice, you got a time frame. Now you're like, oh my God, that's
That's what I
scary.
say, man. Like that's
Yeah,
why what's the name don't, that's why tongues don't please us.
You ain't lying.
You know what I'm saying? That's why what does us good is prophecy.
Prophecy.
Because you know how to save yourself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You can't save yourself in by speaking tongue unless it's interpreted. You know, they're preaching to somebody about what's coming and somebody can interpret that and that do you some good. You know, but
Guess what? It's going to be shocking to a lot of people because they're not getting this teaching, and they're going to be totally shocked.
no idea.
And unprepared for what's to come. They have no idea.
I have no idea.
That is crazy. And
well, that's
we're not saying.
so,
yeah, it is.
we ran it pretty good too.
That's like, that ain't all right.
40%. That's it.
That's misty right. That ain't gonna rain.
Well, how many people gonna be unprepared for this, man? I don't know what to look
Trying to get
for.
out of
Look at all these mega churches and all of this. I mean, these millions of people, man.
Didn't they say They were supposed to be making a statue. A statue is supposed to bleed or whatever, and everybody's going to believe that sign. And stuff.
I think I heard
There's
this.
some
Did I
statue that
hear
he gonna
that or
make
did I
talking
read
walk.
that? Is what I'm trying to
The beast
remember.
gonna get power to a statue.
But
That's
that
gonna
statue
talk.
I
gonna
think
be.
I
But I don't know how
read
little
that.
that really is.
I think I read that, but I don't remember what
Yeah.
book in the Bible I
It's
read
in
it out of.
Revelations. And it's-
No, she talking about somebody saying they was gonna actually make one.
Make a statue that gonna bleed.
Yeah, they're gonna be. Yeah, I think I read something like that.
Yeah, I remember when I was young.
Yeah, the false prophet.
Because they said that's why the book says you're not supposed to look for signs because there are going to be people that come with signs saying they are who they are,
I
but
just heard something.
But the
that's
dog,
not gonna be
not
right.
got tucked. I seen.
You should have known. So good.
Are we trying to say what the evil and industrial generation seek for a sign, but they seek no sign
Yeah,
given?
that's it right there.
Right.
You're seeking for a sign, but really you don't even know what sign to look for, and the sign that you're going to see is going to be the wrong sign because you're going to automatically take the mark of the beast, basically, because you see the wrong sign, you think that is actually Christ. The mark of the beast that's following that sign, you take the mark of the beast instead of going for what. I don't know how to exactly.
Yeah, you lost
Explain
me.
what I read.
Yeah, I'm looking
There's a
great.
lot of people gonna believe when
I can't even. Like,
the Antichrist gonna put a statue into it, and the statue gonna be walking.
You take that.
So people gonna be worshiping because, like you said, they have read because see God done brought let Satan bring fire down on Job. So people gonna that's what I'm saying. You're gonna do that again, and then if you don't worship the beast, then they said that's when you're gonna be getting killed. I want to make it to the wilderness because I'm too old to run.
So when you gonna leave for the woods?
Huh?
When you gonna leave for the woods? Man, it's too cold.
I'm gonna read when the prophet said when he started sacrificing.
When you gonna say it again?
When he started sacrificing when they started sacrificing, then I'm gonna hey, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be watching you guys. When you guys take off, I'm gonna take off.
We gonna improvise.
You see what I'm black?
I think that Marlon said don't call him. He said,
Get no
he
milk
gonna,
on it.
Yeah, right.
yeah, Marlon said don't call him because he gonna be gone already.
Marlon leaving. I think Marlon might be leaving a little too late.
No, I'm talking about when he going to the wilderness.
Yeah.
He said he telling all the people, said y'all better get this here because if you calling me on that day I had to leave, he said I ain't gonna be here. He said I'm gonna be gone. But I don't know. And they said something like we should start looking when they started daily sacrifice, right?
Absolutely.
That's when we're gonna start looking for it. And I truly believe that it's gonna be something that
Why the Lord tell you about 2,300 days? Like he tell you about 2,300 days for a reason.
Right. Because you gotta
Because you know now, like, okay, this is impending danger.
right.
Okay, Lord is on his way. One of the major signs is they're gonna start sacrificing animals on a daily basis. Okay, so you know not too long after that, about a year, 2 years and some change, okay, the Great Tribulation getting ready to start.
Right.
So you might not want to wait till you get down to that
The
last
30
minute.
days. Yeah.
But that sacrifice that animal, man, okay.
Because God gonna start open the way for you to go anyway doing.
I mean, I don't know if I know one thing. I know one thing. He gave you them 2,300 days for a reason.
Yeah, right.
He gave you those extra numbers for a reason.
For a reason.
He didn't just give you 3.5 years. He gave you
Right. No, he gave you that.
Huh?
I think he gave us more than enough time. Like,
Oh, yeah, 2 years?
Like a 10-year intervention. It's like we got 3.5 years. I think that's gonna be the peak of everything. Like I think because right now, from prophecy and looking at things, like they already started. But from what you said,
They started nothing.
No.
When they started doing sacrifice, that was
Daily
the
sacrifice.
that's what they get.
Yeah, that's what
daily sacrifice. That's what you need to look out for.
when the false. Yeah, when the false prophet.
everyday thing.
Yeah, every day. Yeah, they ain't doing that right now. It ain't gonna be nothing. Ain't gonna be nothing they hide either. You gonna know. We gonna know.
Yeah.
You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
yeah.
Ain't like like they're gonna be over there doing it, and then by the time we find out,
But we
like,
should be able to get rid of Flint. So
About a
we
year
should have
left.
that temple when they actually walk up in there. My bad me to cut you off either.
what you say?
So even when they started doing the daily sacrifice, when we get on our toes, but we don't leave this country until that man actually go into that temple.
No,
Maybe too late then.
It's too late.
That's when they gonna
That's
too
what I
late,
said when you
man.
see the man about shit that's stand up a place you should not go, then you should flee into the mountains.
No.
So we should have been going way
No,
before that.
no. What he's saying is, at that time, first off, when he's standing in the temple, it's too late.
It's too late,
You
yeah.
can't run when he's standing in the temple.
3.5
You don't
years.
talk over.
That's
right?
started
And I
the
took over.
tribulation, yeah.
So when he tell you, go to Matthew right quick.
Yes,
Let me show
sir.
you something.
Yes,
And
sir.
you gotta listen to this, Jay. Pay attention to this right
I'm
here.
gonna pay attention.
So that way you'll know. Because I think because you ain't the only one. A lot of people, man,
Think there's gonna be at that last minute. Yeah.
yeah, they get it mixed up when he gonna, they think standing in the temple, like he gonna go there and stand, and then when he stand, you got 30 days to run, right?
Mhm.
But it ain't talking about him, particularly himself standing. That's what I'm gonna show you right quick. Matthew 24, pick this up at verse 15.
Yes, sir.
Matthew 24, verse 15.
Want me to read now?
Yeah, go ahead and read that.
Okay. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet.
Oh, wait a minute.
Mhm.
Say, when you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Stand in the holy place.
Stand in the holy place, right?
Whoso readeth, let him understand.
Whoso read, let him understand, right? So now, you go to Matthew chapter 24. Daniel chapter 11.
You love
Daniel chapter 11. Daniel chapter 11. Let's pick this up at verse Daniel 11, we're going to pick this up at around verse 31. Now remember what Jesus said, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you see the abomination of desolation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Spoken of by Daniel the prophet, do what? Stand in the holy place, right?
Yes, sir.
Whoso read, let him understand, right?
Mhm.
So now, Daniel chapter 11, pick this up at verse 31. Read that.
An arm shall stand on his part.
Wait a minute, who gonna stand on this part?
The
army.
All gonna stand on this part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just like you saw with Jerusalem in 70 AD, remember he gave you the same example. Matthew 24,
Yeah.
Luke 21, the same example. When you see them armies come down, surround Jerusalem, bruh,
Mhm.
you see them, you better get out of there, bruh. At this time, because when you see these armies stand on this part, they ain't even placed him yet. They coming down into Jerusalem.
take over for him.
They get because they represent him.
Yeah.
Like for instance, you got the army that represent Trump, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's why I said the arms gonna stand on his part. But this is what Jesus was talking about. This is the only place in Daniel that talk about somebody standing. So it said the arms stand on this shall stand on this part, and what else?
And they shall pollute the sanctuary.
So they're gonna come over there and pollute the sanctuary strip. They come to take Jerusalem. What else?
and shall take away the daily sacrifice.
Oh, so this is what the army gonna do. They're gonna take away the daily sacrifice, and then what they gonna do?
And they shall place the abomination that make it desolate.
Oh, then they gonna place him. Once they place him,
So we
then that's when the great tribulation starts. When you see them armies come down there, it's time for you to run. You got 30 days left.
you
understand?
That's what it
But
is.
once he stands there, it's too late now.
Oh.
Go to Daniel chapter 12 right quick.
Well, who-
Go to Daniel 12. It's gonna show you that. It's gonna give you these numbers.
Oh, I need to be on the ship lot. Okay. So I see
Daniel
on
chapter
CNN that armies is making it to Jerusalem. I need to be on my way to the wilderness.
Yeah, if you ain't got out by then, you need that's your 30 days. That's it.
Get your passport.
That's like your what's the name. You don't need a passport. That's gonna be your what's the name. That's gonna be your final time frame. You got 30 days left.
Then when we
But
see-
some of us probably gonna be gone way before that. As soon as they start
Yeah,
sacrificing animals, I know I got 2.5 years for 2 years of change before this army start rolling down here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start making plans. Like think about it, you have old people. Some people ain't got like one brother Will, he can't get around. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna be like, man, we jumping on this ahead of time. Some
Yeah.
sisters that are old, women that got babies and stuff like, bro, we're not
we're not
literally.
wait till
You
last
think
minute.
about it, we ain't waiting till the last 30 days.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Now if it get down to this point where you done ran out of time, this right here, this last 30 days, let you know, hey, bro, you better go and move. But now it's gonna tell you how much time you got for them to come down there, to stop the daily sacrifice, pollute the sanctuary of Shem, and place the abomination that make desolate. So day 12, pick this up in verse 11. What it say?
And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away.
Okay, so from the time that they're gonna take away the daily sacrifice, what else?
And the abomination that make it desolate.
And the abomination that do what?
Make it desolate.
I love keep reading.
There shall be 1,290 days.
Okay, so look. How long is the Great Tribulation?
3.5 years.
How many days though?
1260.
1260. So he said from the time that the army come down there, and stop the daily sacrifice and place the abomination desolation, that's how many days? That's gonna be 30 days, right?
Yeah.
Because the Great Tribulation is how long? 1260.
Yeah.
So you got 30 days. Once they get down to Jerusalem, they're gonna stop this daily sacrifice. And that's gonna take, and when they get to that last day, I assume, that last day when they place him as king of the world, abomination that make desolate, that's it. You are done.
Oh, look at him.
That's a wrap. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's 30 days right there that you got to move.
Ooh.
But the army's gonna come down there. Just like when the Lord told them back in Luke, when you see these armies come past Jerusalem, then know that what? The desolation thereof is not.
Yeah.
So likewise, in the end of the world, when you see these armies come down there and start surrounding Jerusalem, hey, this is it, bro. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
Time for y'all to get out of there. Go ahead, brother.
What chapter on Luke?
Luke 21. Matter of fact, let's go look at it. Luke 21.
So, we ain't serious.
Luke 21.
That I didn't know.
Like it's almost similar, man. It's like God doing the same thing all over.
So when you say we don't need passports, we could just flee illegally, do whatever we gotta do, get up out of here.
Say it again.
So when you say we ain't gonna need passports, we just
Oh no, you ain't
we
need that.
forget the laws of the land, all that, we can just go.
I mean, hey, the Lord probably gonna put on the hearts of them to help us get out.
Yeah.
Remember what happened when he did with Egypt when we came by last time? They was like, "Here, man, get that. When this gold, take it, man."
Right.
That's when the gospel should be preached among all the nations. They should know that. You right.
I mean, they should, but the Lord is the one that's orchestrating this escape.
Yeah.
Like this, like I say all the time, this is not you gonna call up your buddy for a hookup. You ain't got to worry about the passport. Like just think about it, man. Like how we gonna just think about this? You know, God got to be involved in this. What if you ain't got no money to get no passport?
Right.
Somebody gotta give you some money.
Where you read that at?
You ain't read that note.
Exactly.
So we
But I guarantee you this. God got everything. He owned everything. He owned the ships. He owned the cruise line.
Yeah.
He owned the planes.
Yeah, he owned all that.
You know what I'm saying? Like he got all this stuff under control, man. Only thing you gonna need is faith.
Yeah.
Just like when they left Egypt, they know that where they was going did that.
Right.
They just knew they took some blood, put that doorpost. Next day they was walking.
That's it.
That's all. The next day they was walking, bro. When the Lord say, hey, when the Lord say He gonna bring us out on eagle's wings, He mean exactly that.
Man.
He gonna bring us out on eagle's wings, bro. So like all you gotta do is have faith. And then if you like say when you get I got a passport, but I got a passport so I can fly to Toronto to preach. I still ain't been yet, but I still got my passport though. I ain't seen me up there yet. But anyway, what I'm saying, like, what if everybody can't get one? And if you get one, you're able to leave early. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Like, what if you get one? I got one. We can fly back and forth, go up there and set things up. You know, I don't know how the Lord gonna do this, bro. But I just know one thing: He put these numbers out here for a reason.
Yeah.
Them 2,300 days, that's out there for a reason. And most of us are just being taught about, the 1260. Missing these other days, them other numbers out there, man.
That extra month.
With an extra 2 years.
Yeah.
Missing the whole extra 2 years. Ain't nobody saying nothing about that. Well, Luke 21, pick this up at verse, start at verse 20. Luke 21, verse 20, read it.
And when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
Oh, it sounds just like what's going to happen with what's the name, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said, when you see Jerusalem compassed round about with armies, then know the desolation thereof is nigh, right? But that's what's going to happen today. He said, what? Then arms going to stand on this part. They're going to pollute the sanctuary ship. They're going to take away the daily sacrifice, and they're going to place the abomination that make desolate.
Yes, sir.
But them armies are coming down. They represent this man. But it's almost similar to what happened back during when 70 AD.
Yeah.
Go on to keep reading. What it say?
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out.
Keep reading.
And let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto.
Go ahead.
But these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled.
So now this is taking you back to Deuteronomy. You see what I'm saying? This is taking you back to Deuteronomy about like the slavery, the curses and everything, the siege that was going to happen. Like this is what Jesus is talking about. That all things that are written going to be fulfilled. It's about to start right now. So he goes more in depth, or he gets more intricate about what was going to happen during the time of 70 AD. So that's why he's saying here, for these be the days that all things, these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. What does he say?
But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
Gonna be a bad time. Keep reading.
For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people.
Now go to Matthew 24. Now that's referring to 7 AD, right?
Mm-hmm.
I tell you that Luke chapter 19. He said, when you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, though that desolation thereof is not. Luke 19, around verse 41, tell you they're going to dig a trench around the city and keep the end on every side. That's what happened in 7 AD. Now check out Matthew 24. He's going to tell you almost the same exact thing. Matthew 24, pick this up at around verse 15 once again. Go ahead.
When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand.
Go ahead.
Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
Okay, sounds just like Luke, though.
Yeah.
But see, this is talking about the end of the world. No longer 70 AD.
Yeah.
He said what? He said, then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountain, because what's coming? Remember, he said you got all that. When you see the abomination, desolation, stand in the holy place. But we know how you're gonna stand. Them armies coming to represent him.
Mm-hmm.
When them armies get down there, you know, hey, it's time to move.
Yes,
but it
sir.
sounds just like Luke.
Yes, sir.
He said, look, when you then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Go ahead and read.
Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house.
Gonna be a bad time. Don't be trying to get clothes and stuff. Don't be talking about the passport.
Neither let him which is in the field return back to his clothes.
Don't worry about all that. God, I got that. Keep reading. What else he said?
And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath
But
day.
notice what he said. He said, woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. It sounds almost similar to what happened in 7 AD, though.
Yes,
You
sir.
see what I'm saying? So, hey, just like the armies came down in 7 AD, that's what you got to watch for again. The armies going to get ready to come down. They're going to stop the daily sacrifice, pollute the saints' square them. They're going to place the abomination that make desolate. That's going to be 30 days right there. And after that, hey, that's it. It starts. Great tribulation, it starts, man. But that's your final. Like, that's it. You got them last 30 days. But you still have an additional, days before that for you to pay attention to.
Right, yeah.
So that's what most of us have been taught. We don't know about that.
I just think a lot of people don't even know about this stuff, man.
I gotta get on board before I even get free
They're gonna be caught up in the great tribulation. They even know what's going on. Them do this, brother Nate.
Wow,
that's
there's gonna be some announcement
What's that?
when time for you to go. People just not gonna listen to it.
Oh no.
But you know how you gonna get out of here?
You said it's gonna be an announcement.
Well, I'm just
think
saying.
about it.
I'm just me saying. I ain't
Oh,
ready.
okay.
They got this thing on Netflix called, I think it's called Red Sea now.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, the Red Sea. It kind of goes. I guess they give an illustration of what happened back early in the 70s when it was kind of it's a real event that took place.
Yeah,
When they was bringing them.
It's a legality movie with Jay Israel or something like that.
They was bringing these Hebrews. They was trying to sneak them back into Jerusalem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They was loading them on planes and all that. Gentiles was doing it. Loading these Hebrews on planes and trying to get them over to Jerusalem. But it was something that happened for real.
Yeah.
Red Sea, I think, is like an illustration of it. They made it to, I think, a little movie or something.
Yeah.
But you go back, you look at YouTube and see the real footage of them doing this for real, man. And just like they did it back then, man, the Lord can put the same exact spirit on these people in the end of the world. The same spirit, man, like to get us out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like he told Moab and Ammon, he said, hide them, man. Be a covert to the outcast. Hide the outcast in the Isaiah 16. Look at it right there.
It's getting good. I'm telling you. Heads up.
Isaiah 16, read verse 1, brother. Isaiah 16.
Send ye the lamb to the ruler of the land from Selah. What is it? Selah. To the wilderness unto the mount of the daughter of Zion. For it shall be that
That's what Jesus is going to first, though. When he come back, he's not going to Jerusalem, right? The lamb we're talking about Jesus. He said, send ye the lamb to the ruler of the land from Selah to the wilderness, right?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Unto the mount of the daughter of Zion, because he's going to stop in the wilderness first, then he going into Zion.
Yeah.
Then he said, for it should be what?
For it shall be that as a wandering bird cast out of the nest, so the daughters of Moab shall be at the fords of Arnon.
Keep reading.
Take counsel, execute judgment, make thy shadow as night in the midst of the noonday.
Oh, notice what he say. He say, make thy shadow as the night in the midst of the noonday, right? But he talking to Moab and Arnon. You know, he telling them the whole, you know, the way he talking to Moab. And then another place, Daniel chapter 11, let you know he talking to Edom, Moab, and Ammon. Because that's where we going to be at.
Yeah.
But he say, look, he said, take counsel, execute judgment, make thy shadow as the night in the midst of the noonday. So it's going to be in the middle of the noonday when it's bright outside, the Lord going to have his people being hid in Moab.
Wow.
Right outside. He said, make that shadow as the night in the midst of the noonday. Hide what?
Hide the outcast.
Keep reading.
Bewray not him that wanders.
That's right. Don't turn him away that's wandering, because that's what we going to be doing.
Wow.
We going to be wandering. You don't know where you going?
Yeah.
You just know you got to get out of here. So once you get here, look, don't turn my people away. But God got it, man. God taking care of this.
Yeah.
Wow.
What else he say, brother? Verse 4.
Let mine outcast dwell with thee, Moab.
Right. He wasn't asking. He said, please.
No.
He said, let mine outcast dwell with thee, Moab. Keep reading.
Be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoil.
But look what's happening. The spoiler coming after it. Satan is coming. But look who he's using the abomination of desolation. And he telling them to be a covert for us. In other words, cover them up so they can't be seen.
Wow.
He said what? Be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoiler for what?
For the extortioner is at an end. The spoiler ceasing. The oppressors are consumed out of the land.
Right, but so we're going to be good, man.
Wow.
But all this stuff is happening, you know, like we're going to be straight.
Great. Yeah.
We're going to be straight. We just got to have the faith to leave everything. And like I say, it's easy to say that, right? But you're talking about leaving family and friends, man. People that you care about. You know, you walking away, you leaving everybody behind, man. Like, that's going to be tough. The biggest thing you're going to have to deal with is having some faith. That's going to be it right there. You ain't got to worry about no money, none of that. God got it, man. I think we did a few weeks ago from the second Exodus to the wilderness in Jerusalem, right? Yeah. We showed how the Lord gonna supply clothes. You know, when Israel get back home, when he gathers from all over the world, take us back to the wilderness, he gonna have Tarshish coming up with ships and stuff like that, bringing us over. Yeah. You know, and it said, who are these that, in Isaiah, who are these that fly as a cloud with doves to their windows? Yeah. Then it say that we're gonna come through with the ships of Tarshish and stuff like that. Look, God gonna have all this under control. All these airplanes and stuff out here like that, the Lord get ready to put them things to good use. Them nice cruise ships and stuff like that, God get ready to put that stuff to good use. He got some very valuable merchandise, which is his people, that he get ready to bring back home. You ain't got to worry about nothing. All you gonna have to do is say, Mom, I got to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to say, all right, house, car, family, I love y'all. I got to go.
Everybody,
you know what I'm saying? I got to go. Because you're going to the place that you have no idea about.
Right.
Yeah.
Like just think about Israel back in the day when they came out of Egypt. Look, they ain't have nothing.
So did.
And then they got in the wilderness, got jacked up. But we got a book to tell us how this thing gonna end. Now, if you lose it, I mean, if your faith wavers after the Lord done put in His word. It just ain't meant to get it. Go ahead, Nemo. What you got, bro?
Oh, emphasizing on what you just said. This is when, just like when Joshua led them into the land.
Yeah.
How big the grapes were.
Right.
You know,
right. He took care of it. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
So the Lord's gonna do the same thing
all over again.
Wow. But I was gonna say those. Isaiah 16 tied up with Psalms 91.
Kind of, sort of. Yeah, because also Psalms 91 kind of happened when Jesus came. Remember? Yeah. Remember Satan was talking to him, and he was like, "If you be the Son of God, cast yourself down." You know, where it is written, "Thou shalt not dash thy foot against a stone." So it could be with us, but at the same time, you already saw like some of it happened with Satan when Jesus came.
Yeah. So Psalm 91 was tied up with the ones running on the.
It can fit. So it can fit
3.5 years.
It can fit certain things.
Yeah.
So like some of that stuff can fit you right now. You know what I'm saying? Like Lord can keep you can have 10,000 on your right, 10,000. Well, in other words, He can keep you now from stuff messing with you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You know. So just to tie it strictly to that particular event, we can't do that because of what happened in Luke chapter 4 when Jesus came out the wilderness and Satan tried to tempt him. Yeah. And what was written in Psalm 91, he said, look, you know, if you be go on cast yourself down because it is written. The angels shall cast thee up and let something like that. You know.
The angel give charge over the
Right, yeah.
yeah.
Don't cast your foot against the stone.
Yeah.
So, no, that's what it says. That's exactly what it
Guess what,
says.
Brother Nate?
You remember, you know he's doing.
Y'all know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
I
we got you.
hope y'all do.
But what did they get? Well, if they just deliberately try to change prophecy, in 1948, when they talking about bringing all these so-called Jews, on the airplanes and back to Jews, they're still doing it now. I just seen on TV the other day where some people say they Israel, they brought them in by the thousands, just the other day. So if they just, if they know prophecy, then they literally trying to change it or trying to deter it or something. But they can't do it though. I mean, where they get all that stuff from if they know the prophecy?
It still bring people home?
Yeah, they just had a whole thousand, I think 3,000 or 4,000 people they just brought into Israel.
You know why they doing that? Go to Obadiah chapter 1. I'm gonna tell you why they doing
Okay,
Obadiah chapter 1.
yeah, okay. They just brought some people in, about 3,000 people saying they did lost tribes of Israel and blah, 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 blah. I'm just saying
it's prophecy though, brother. Mason, don't get mad at it. It's prophecy.
I like Obadiah prophecy. Ain't that the
They doing what the Lord say.
Obadiah prophesy against Esau, don't
Isaiah, Obadiah chapter 1.
Okay, I got you.
Obadiah chapter 1. They doing what the Lord say.
I just see the other day, I see why they still sitting there people talking about the lost tribes.
It's showing they
They
did.
doing what the Lord. I'm telling you, man. They doing exactly what the Lord say. Obadiah chapter 1. Pick it up like around verse. What is it at?
Right out the Amos.
Oh, Amos. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Pick it up at around verse. Start this at verse 15. Obadiah 1 verse 15. What is it?
For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen,
Uh-huh.
as thou hast done.
Uh-huh.
It shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head.
Keep reading.
For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yeah, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been.
Keep reading.
But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possession. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble.
Go ahead.
And they shall kindle in them, and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it.
Keep reading.
And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain of the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim,
Go ahead.
and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. And the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zarephath, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Sepharad, shall possess the cities of the south.
Keep reading.
And saviors shall come up on Mount Zion.
Right, so he's saying, and saviors shall come up on Mount Zion, right? So that's going to include us.
Okay.
So it says saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to do what? Now we're going to Mount Zion. Mount Zion, Jerusalem, right?
Yeah,
Israel, right?
yeah.
Right.
So we got to go up on Mount Zion to do what?
To judge the mount of Esau.
To judge who?
The mount of Esau.
So that's why they're going home, because we got to judge. We got to get him. Where you going to get him at?
Wow.
You got to get him over there.
Yeah.
They can't be in New York.
Yeah.
They need to get over there. So they going home. They waiting on judgment. That's what
Wow.
That's why they going back.
What's about it?
I told you, it's prophecy, man.
Now they know the joke.
And we gotta go and kick him out the land.
That's right. That's right. He say what? Savior's gonna come up on Mount Zion to judge the Mount of Esau.
Ain't that something?
Hey, they don't even know where they going back.
They don't know. Well, that's why they don't even know about why they building that temple.
We need to go back to our
Hey,
duty.
Jay, you see? You understand why we read Obadiah?
Yeah, you missed it. Yeah.
Oh,
It was about Esau though?
Yeah.
yeah, read it.
Yeah, like you said, in the verse 21, verse Obadiah
Come up to 19.
19. Okay.
Where you started?
Esau ain't
Yeah, but you got to
Start at 20.
Start
But
at 20.
he asking why are they going back?
Yeah.
Why is all these fake Jews going back up? He said like they just took 3,000 back.
Yeah, another thing about lost tribe.
So the Holocaust and they had a celebration.
No, I ain't talking about that. It's just been recently, they just brought like 3,000 or 4,000 people from, I don't forgot the name of these people they call it, but they supposed to be one of the lost tribes of Israel.
Oh, yeah.
They just brought them back to eat Israel about last week or week before last.
So
He's
asking why they coming back.
Why they coming to
This is why they coming back.
They started what now? Verse
Started 18.
18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them,
and devour them.
Uh-huh.
And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it.
Go ahead.
And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plains of the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead.
Go ahead.
And the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zarephath, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Sepharad, shall possess the cities of the south. And Savior shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau.
So Savior's gonna come up. That's gonna be us. We're gonna come up on Mount Zion, right? Mount Zion is Israel, right?
Yeah.
The land of Israel, right? So he says Savior's gonna come up on Mount Zion, and what's gonna happen?
To judge the mount of Esau.
Right, to judge the Mount of Esau. So Esau need to be there.
It said the kingdom shall
They
be
can't
the
be
Lord.
all. They can't be all over the world. We gonna get him in. We gonna get Esau in Jerusalem.
They don't even
So they might well come on back over. They don't know. Yeah, we gonna get them.
They don't even. Hey,
So they going over there.
So
So that's why people say, that people be like, well, they say, well, that's not the real. That's not where they're at. That's not where they at anyway. You lie by the camera, brother. It picks up. He say they say that's not where the real promised land is at. But it has to be where it's at because that's where Esau is.
Talking about Mount Zion.
Yeah, some people say that's not the real Mount Zion. Some people say that.
And this is
But
true.
you know that's it though.
Yeah.
Because that's where Esau at. That's where the Lord coming back.
And that's what we're gonna give up as an offering.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Esau gonna be the only ones that ain't gonna really make it. He gonna
Right.
be all burnt up. Yeah.
Well, the Bible ain't
That
no
makes
joke.
sense.
Yeah, Mount Zion is.
I'm just saying, but the Bible is so.
I looked that up, and that's what Jerusalem built on Mount Zion.
Chuck, you hit it when we close it. Just hit in the string right here for me, bro. Then you start closing up, just hit in the string.
Praise the Lord.
What about? Boy, you don't believe it is God.
Bro, something else, man. It's been great, man. It's been great. Enjoy it, y'all, brothers.
Always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Praise the Lord.
There's so much that you got. You be
Some work together.
I know. Church
Oh yeah. It
don't
is.
want to come to class and get you the information.
I know, right?
Oh, look at him.
It's a blessing, man. It really is.
Don't can't be playing with.
Yo, all right, you go ahead, bro.
Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come.
thy will be done in earth,
Thy will be done in earth,
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread,
And forgive us our debts,
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
Lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
Thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
For he is
For
good.
he is good,
And his mercy endures forever.
and his mercy endures forever.
Praise the Lord God of Israel.
Praise the Lord God of Israel.
For he is good.
For he is good,
And his mercy endures forever.
and his mercy endures forever.
In Jesus' name we pray.
In Jesus' name we pray.
The Holy One of Israel.
The Holy One of Israel.
The King of Kings.
King of kings,
And Lord of Lords.
Lord of lords.
The one true God.
The one true God.
And there is no other.
There is no other.
Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah.
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 In Jesus' name.
Jesus' name.
Amen.
Boy, that was awesome, boy. Tell me how God ain't good, man.
Woo!
Man,
Really is.
I'm so glad it